So, yes, we are going to begin a new textbook today, the popular short stories, which is this book has been published from Calcutta, Oxford University, and A Cup of Tea by Catherine Mansfield is the first story we are going to discuss today. Rosemary Fell is the central character, is the main character of this story, and this story reveals the character of Rosemary Fell. This woman is a rich person belonging to an affluent family, and it appears that she is fond of reading novels and stories where different characters do some social works, and she is influenced by those characters. She has a deep desire to work for the society, to work for the poor, though basically she is not that benevolent. She likes purchasing things from the market. She buys costly things, one thing. Secondly, she likes being praised. And the places where she goes for purchasing, like shops or other places, the shopkeepers know the weaknesses of Rosemary, and they praise her beauty, they praise her clothes, and in this way they sell their things to this woman. So, one characteristic is that she wants to feel as if she helps others, she helps the poor. Secondly, she is a rich woman and she likes purchasing things, costly things from shops. Thirdly, she wants to be praised. She loves to be praised by others. And fourthly, she has inferiority complex. And fifthly, she is jealous. As we will discuss this story, you will come to know of these traits in her character properly. Okay? So I don't think we should go line by line in the story. I will mention certain things from the story and you will. I hope you have gone through the story at your home and you are familiar with the background, with the story. She is not extremely beautiful. She is not very beautiful. And that is the reason why she feels jealous. She feels insecure. She has inferiority complex about her beauty. So one day she goes to a market to purchase certain things like flowers and other things. She had been married 2 years, so she is she has recently married, and she has a beautiful, cute boy, and she belongs to a very rich family. She goes to Bond Street, where rich people go in London, and she purchases things from the shops situated in that street. She enters the shop, she looks at the articles, and says, I want to purchase these 4 5 things, show me these things. Then the shopkeeper shows her the jar of roses, a bouquet, other things. One winter afternoon, she had been buying something in a little antique shop in Curzon Street. Curzon Street is there in London, and antique shops are situated there. Very costly things are sold in that shop. And the shopkeeper, the person who was there in the shop, showed his fondness for Rosemary. You are so rich, you are so beautiful, your likes and dislikes are very exquisite, all these things. So as she entered the shop, the shopkeeper beamed, he smiled, he welcomed her, and showed as if he was very, very pleased to see her, very happy to see her. He said, you see, ma'am, I love my things, the articles which are there in my shop, and I would not part with them, then sell them to someone who doesn't appreciate them. I sell my articles only to those people who can appreciate the value, the quality of these things. Otherwise, I will never sell these things to a mediocre person who cannot understand, who cannot value the articles. So, I have kept these things for you because you know the value, you can understand the artistic things, you can appreciate them. So, in this way, he pleases Rosemary. So, today he showed a little box. He said he had been keeping that box for her only. He did not sell that box to anybody else. He removed the lid. On a lid, a minute creature stood under a flowery tree. A beautiful design was there, a flowery tree. A person was standing under that flowery tree. You know, this shopkeeper is a great flirt. He knows how to flirt others. So he shows that thing especially to Rosemary in order to flirt her. So a minute creature still had her arms around his neck. This was the design. Do you understand? He showed her a little box, and on the lid of that box there was a design. There was a small tree, and under that tree there was a person wearing a hat. A girl was there in that design. And above the tree there was a cloud. Okay? Rosemary took her hand out of the gloves. Rosemary, what do? She removed the gloves and then took that box in her hand and started looking at that box. And the shopkeeper said, this box looks good in your hands. Your hands are very beautiful. In order to please her. He knows her weakness. उसने एक पेंसिल ली और काउंटर पे झुक करके he said, he bent upon the counter and with a pencil he said, if I venture to say so, I would like to tell you how beautiful these flowers are on the bodice. Bodice is worn by women like blouse. And he points out the beautiful flowers on the bodice of that woman in the design on the box. Clear? Somehow he comes out. He asks about the price. She asks about the price, and the shopkeeper tells that this is the price, and she says, okay, I will keep this box for me. Next time when I come here, I will purchase this box. But today, I'm tired and I'm leaving. So she leaves the shop. Yes. She leaves the shop. So she leaves the shop. Outside, her taxi is waiting for her, and she is going to enter the taxi, and then suddenly a very poor woman comes to her, begging for a cup of tea. She says the weather is very cold, and the other lady, the poor lady, is shivering, and she says that please give me some money so that I can have a cup of tea, because I am dying of hunger and weakness and cold. So suddenly an idea flashes into Rosemary's mind, and she thinks that I have read in several novels that heroines, sometimes help poor women, like Savior. Why not I do it? Let's do it. And she has a romantic idea of carrying that girl to her home and helping her, saving her from uh, cold and thirst and hunger. She says, why don't you go with me to my home? I will serve you lots of tea. The other woman is surprised, shocked. Nobody has ever proposed like this. So she is confused. She doesn't know what to say. But then Rosemary insists upon taking that woman. So she gives in, she says, okay, serve me tea there. I will have a cup of tea at your house, and then I will leave your house. Both of them enter Rosemary's house. The other poor woman, the poor girl, is very hesitative. She doesn't know what to say, what to speak to Rosemary. And Rosemary tells repeatedly that don't worry, I am your sister. Both of us are women. All women are sisters. Don't hesitate, this is your house. So they enter the room. So Rosemary assists her, helps her, and she says, please, your dress is, wet, drenching. Remove your hat, remove your coat, your weight things, since it is very cold and you will fall ill if you don't remove your things. And she hesitates, then Rosemary herself removes the poor girl's hat, the poor girl's coat, and asks her to sit on the chair. The poor girl sits on the chair, and then Rosemary serves her bread, cheese, other things. Rosemary doesn't try to ask anything to that girl. She goes on helping her without knowing what the other person needs. So instead of serving her tea, she serves her bread, butter, cheese, etc., etc. So at last, the poor girl says, Madam, I want a cup of tea. I need a cup of tea, please. If it is available with you, please serve me a cup of tea. I need that thing. So Rosemary says, oh, I forgot. I am bringing a very hot cup of tea for you. And she brings a hot cup of tea for that poor girl. The poor girl has that tea, and then she feels comfortable. She feels at home. She gains her strength. At that moment, Rosemary's husband knocks at the door. He asks, may I come in, ma'am? Rosemary says, oh, why not? Why not? This is your house. Please enter. And the husband is surprised to see another girl with Rosemary. He is not habitual of seeing the other persons. So he asked, who is she? And she says, this is a poor girl and she needed a cup of tea and I brought her to our home and I have served her tea and now she has gained strength. I want her to stay here for a day or two. Husband doesn't like the idea. He's surprised, why stay when you have served her tea? He feels that his wife should let this woman go her home. Uh, then the husband enters the library. Rosemary goes to the library and husband says, when is she going to leave? Rosemary says, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Husband says, why tomorrow? She says, she is a poor girl, she needs my help. Husband says, you have helped her. So, but she is adamant, no, she will go tomorrow. So, husband knows her weakness. Instead of directly ordering his wife to send that poor girl away, what does he do? He changes the tone. He says, this is a very beautiful girl. She is a pretty girl. Then Rosemary becomes insecure. She becomes jealous of her. But she doesn't express her insecurity. She doesn't express her jealousy. And she immediately leaves the room and goes to the poor girl. And she tells that I will give you £3 money, lots of money, and please have your lunch outside, go to your home, and I don't think you will need anything else after this help. The woman leaves, and Rosemary then goes to her makeup room, applies creams and powder and perfume on her body, prepares tasty tea for her husband, and enters her husband's room. She does her hair and everything and tells her husband that since you wanted her to go, I have sent her away. The husband says, okay, fine, that's good. You obey me, that's fine. I'm very happy with you. Then she says, how am I looking today? The husband says, you are looking nice. She speaks in a very soft tone. Am I pretty? She sits in her husband's lap and says, am I pretty? The husband says, yes, you are absolutely pretty, extremely pretty, beautiful. And thus the story ends here. So the writer has revealed the insecurity of the central figure of this story in this way. The writer has revealed the jealousy hidden in Rosemary's mind. The writer has revealed the desire to help others. You see, there are some social workers, many men, women who work for the poor, but in reality they are not concerned for them. Their heart doesn't weep, their heart doesn't cry for them. They help the poor only because they want to feel like saviors. They wish their acts of benevolence to be published in newspapers. They wish their acts of benevolence to be telecast on television. They take photographs and post on social media. So this is not the real concern for the poor.